Let's hear it for these two. Come on, huh? Okay, so is this on? Can you? All right, you can hear me. All right.
Why don't you have them speak and see if they sound okay?
Yeah. Can you just say hi? Hi, Georgie.
I'm proud of you. You're my hero.
Pray for me, everybody.
You can tell which one's the avoider.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put, I think I'm going to put you in the listener role first. So I'm going to help you do that. It's harder to be the listener because you have to be the good question asker and find out more. You're basically just going to answer the questions. So it's a little bit easier for you, but he needs a feeling worksheet.
I want to get that right now.
Okay.
I'm her assistant right now. Like
And
Vanna White.
don't worry too much about it. It's just what you're going to do, but don't get lost in the paper. I'll help you. Okay. So we asked you guys to, if you were willing to share just what bugs you the most. That's all. That's where we're going to start. Basically, you're going to know about as much as I know in about 2 seconds here, because I asked them that question and I got the answer, and that's basically all I know at this point. So I'm just going to have, so since they don't know Liz, I'm going to have you, Liz, and this is George. I'm going to ask Liz to just ask George. So, George, what bugs you the most about me?
George, what bugs you the most about me?
I feel that you're very needy. You nag a lot, and you're probably not happy. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, even though this sounds very basic, just say back what you heard and say, so what you're saying is, so you make sure, because even though it sounds simple, sooner or later you might not really hear it right. So say back what you heard.
So you're saying that I'm needy, I'm unhappy, and I nag you.
Yes.
It's hard to have these
Oh.
mics, but you have to hold them close. Okay, so now your hard part comes. So you're going to find out more. And when you hear a list, I always say, pick the thing that is the most surprise to you. Like out of those three, which is mostly a surprise, or none of them are a surprise?
Unhappy.
Okay. So pick the thing that you hear that's like, oh, I didn't expect him to say that, and find out more about unhappy.
Why would you think that I'm unhappy?
You're always angry. No, yeah, not always angry, but you're angry a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah, when you get really angry, it happens, quite a few times during the week, and sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, whether it's providing or just our relationship. And I know you do talk about me loving the kids more, being more affectionate with the kids more than I am with you. And yeah.
Okay, so say back what you heard again.
So you're saying that you feel that sorry.
It's okay, take your time. This is harder.
Okay. So you're saying that what I was telling you was with the kids that you're more affectionate with them than with me, and that I'm angry most of the time when you come home. And did I miss something else?
Okay, now, wasn't that a great question? When you think it's so easy, just say back what you heard, but when you're hearing something that's hard to hear, that you weren't even expecting to hear, how easy is it to really stay on tune and not go off in your own head or plan what you're going to say back, or say, well, if you think you made me, I make you unhappy, you should see how unhappy you made me. That's where we usually go. So that was a great question. Did she miss anything?
Can we check the minutes? I didn't. I don't remember.
Somebody
What
write
did you
this
say
down.
in the
Okay? Rewind that tape. Okay, that was good enough. Okay, so the kids and unhappy because you're angry. Okay, now so far has anything happened talking feelings? No. So somewhere early on, if you think you have something basic, I want you to say, okay, so ask him how it makes him feel when you're unhappy.
How does it make you feel when I'm unhappy? or angry?
And he's got his list here. Let's start with angry.
Angry. Irritated, annoyed, frustrated.
You're doing
Yeah.
good.
I think that's. Yeah, I think that's it.
Anything down the page? If there's not, that's okay. I'm just checking.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think I'm good with that so far.
Okay, so say back what you heard.
So you say that you're angry, you're annoyed, you're frustrated with me?
Yeah.
Okay, now ask him how it feels when you're unhappy.
How does it feel when I'm unhappy? How do you feel when I'm unhappy?
Uneasy, embarrassed, ashamed, nervous, and stressed.
Now, how do you feel about what he just said? This is just a little sidebar here.
How do I feel?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, don't even look at the list. Just like when you heard that.
It's kind of a surprise to me. Like, it's the opposite to what the body language that I get from him. Like, he usually just walks off and he doesn't necessarily say that to me, so it's hard for me to deduce that that's how he feels.
Okay. So, do we always show the other person what's really on the inside?
No.
And I have a feeling just because you're looking at this list, it's easier for you to like say what's on the inside.
Right.
Okay, so of those two, he said when you're angry, he gets
Annoyed, frustrated.
But when he thinks you're unhappy, he gets
Stressed,
Embarrassed, uneasy.
uneasy.
Yeah.
Okay, now which of those two is the most vulnerable?
Embarrassed or uneasy.
Yeah, the unhappy feelings. When you're unhappy, those feelings
right.
he has are more vulnerable. When you're angry, he's angry.
Right. And I can see the kind of jittery, like his reaction, he tries to withhold it, but then I think the longer that we've been married, he slowly lets a little bit.
Okay, so you can kind of see jittery probably means those feelings.
Trying to hold it, yeah.
Trying not to hold those feelings. Or trying not to show those
it,
feelings.
right.
Okay, so again, you go after what surprises you the most. So you're not so surprised that he's mad when you're mad, right?
Right,
But you're more surprised at all these vulnerable feelings.
yeah, embarrassed and uneasy.
Okay, so now when we're going to go backwards in time and ask him if he ever felt those feelings when he was a kid.
Oh,
You asked him, yeah, it's okay.
Did you ever feel that when you were younger?
Yeah, a lot when I was a child. Embarrassed a lot. Not, I don't want to say stressed, but I guess worried and afraid.
Okay, find out why.
Why? Who made you feel that way and why?
Good question.
Probably my father. Actually, yeah, my father. He's really strict. So yeah, so I used to get whipped a lot when I was a little kid. But I used to get myself into a lot of trouble too. So some stuff I do say, yeah, I should have got beaten up for, like forging his signature on my report card. But that's in like second grade though. I was learning how to do stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, but I grew up though as a little kid around a lot of partying. So my parents used to take us to another family friend's house, and they party over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
How did that make you feel though when we used to leave you there and?
We were afraid, me and my sisters, because we would have to stay in the room while we hear a lot of noise going on the outside, and then we saw a lot of stuff that as a little kid.
What they were doing, like what were?
Oh, just the atmosphere, the environment. Yeah.
And you felt? How does it make you feel? Like describe exactly like how that makes you feel.
I don't know. Just being here, it's like
What did you do? What did you do when you,
I was just afraid.
did you go
Nervous.
hide underneath like a blanket?
No, I wouldn't hide.
Okay, so say back what you heard.
So you're telling me that when you were younger, those feelings of things that going on with us, you feeling embarrassed, it reminds you of when your dad used to yell at you and make you feel embarrassed for feeling anything, or you felt like you were annoying him, or you were worried that you had to kind of feel out the situation. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. No, but did you hear the tie-in she just made? She said when you feel I'm unhappy or I'm angry, you feel these same feelings that you felt when you were little.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good tie-in. You made a good connection. Okay, so ask him if he thought his father was ever happy with him.
Do you think your dad was ever happy with you?
No, I don't think so.
That would make sense.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do you see in his eyes right now?
Relief. Kind of. Just
What
like,
else? Just look. Just look.
tears. Sadness.
Okay.
Sadness.
So when you see a feeling, and don't be afraid to see it, just say what you see. I see.
I see tears. I see your sadness. I see beauty, because I feel like there's a vulnerability that I don't see a lot, that I get to see, and I applaud him for it.
Now what do you see in her eyes?
She's crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Just stop and give him a quick hug. Okay, so how long have they been talking? 4 minutes, 5 minutes? And look how deep we went. Yeah. You know, and it's like, because you start to make this time, do you think there's a lot of pain in George about what he went through as a kid? He never made his dad happy. You know, that's a heartbreak, because every little boy wants to make their dad happy, and every little girl wants to make her dad happy. And the same with the mom. So when you get unhappy, how deep does that go for him?
Really deep.
Really deep. And do you see now where the compassion's coming out of you? Yeah. All right.
What are you feeling right this second?
Just because I know his dad, and like just how it is, and I just see like even he kind of still, he has this face that he kind of puts up in front of his dad still now, because he still pushes him to that point. And I feel compassion for both of them, because I feel that his father had the same thing happen to him
Right.
as a child.
Right.
So he's just, I know he loves him, but it's like that's the only thing he knew, you know?
Right.
Like
I wish you could have seen what I saw when I asked her that. She was looking at him with this look, and when I said, "What are you feeling right now?" What did she say? Compassion. I see him, I see his dad. I feel compassion for both of them right now. Is compassion a way of creating comfort and closeness? It sure is. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay. So you can see that the very complaint that he has that's the most troublesome to him in his marriage has a childhood wound sitting under it. And that's almost always true. Sometimes it's easy to see, sometimes it takes a little more digging, but you have a lot of awareness about how you felt about your dad. So it's like it's easy to connect with you because you've already got that awareness. You're not really that blocked, which is actually a wonderful prognosis. I'm just going to tell you guys, whenever I see tears, I'm actually extraordinarily encouraged, because it tells me you're not that defended. You know, you can get there, and when you can get there, healing's just around the corner. So how much comfort do you think he might need about some of those memories and
A lot of comfort. I feel like, because we've talked a little bit before about some of his childhood where he brings up, it's almost like this defense thing that he kind of talks about it, but in the distance, like kind of like you can sense the resentment of what happened to him.
Right.
But then from then I felt like he needed comfort, and I would give that to him, and he kind of would talk more about it. Like it kind of gives him
Permission.
Yeah, to talk more about it.
One of the most important things you can say to your spouse, and this might sound so obvious or so elementary, but just to say, it's okay to feel the sadness around me. I really want to be there for you. Could you just say that to him?
It's okay for you to be sad and to be vulnerable around me. It makes me kind of respect you more as a person, that you actually do have feelings and that you are a person. And I feel like I look up to you more because of that I'm proud of you when you can voice that, because I know how hard it is for you to come out of that from your family, and just because they don't talk about their feelings, they just avoid it, like, and to see how far you've come, I'm just so proud of you.
Wow. Were you expecting that?
Yeah, I was.
Calm down.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Okay. And it's like so often, my husband used to tell me all the time, you just don't connect, you don't connect. And I never realized that was partly because he never gave me anything to connect to. Because he didn't know what he felt. He just needed me to be happy. He didn't really need me. And the minute I saw this from my husband, my heart absolutely melted. And I felt so compassionate. And I thought, I'm not a dead person who can't feel. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe how much I feel right now, compassion. And I felt the same thing, respect. Like, oh my gosh, he'll go here to this place with me. This is really, really amazing. So I'm just going to so we have time to get a couple people up here. I'm just going to make another comment, and then we're going to switch roles. I'm going to guess that in some point with your relationship with your dad, you got mad.
Yes.
Okay, so as a little kid, you try, it doesn't work, you try this, you try that, you can't get him happy, he's always mad, he's always beating on you, and pretty soon you say, forget it. And you get mad.
Right.
So when she's mad, because pretty soon when your dad was mad, you were mad.
I was mad.
Same tie-in. So now today, when she's mad, you're mad. So does that go way back in time too? Yeah. So there's really two ways he's going back in time. One is when she's mad, he's mad. But the more vulnerable place is every man wants their wife to be happy. And a lot of men feel inadequate when their wives aren't happy. And so it's like kind of this like, what's wrong with me that I can't make my wife happy? But that's way too vulnerable, so we just don't talk about it. But in reality, you want to make your dad happy way before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Very good job. Okay, now you got the easy part. Okay.
I like that. I like
Take a deep breath. You just got through the hardest part. You're done. Okay, now you're going to listen to Liz.
Okay.
And you're going to ask her, so Liz, what bugs you the most?
What bugs you the most?
I think your non-responsiveness, like his.
Yeah, I'll help you out. Don't worry too much.
Like when I feel like he doesn't. I feel like you don't care to want to know about me, to try to understand the way that I'm feeling, and just like you not like pursuing me, not feeling like you just avoid, like you can just sometimes roll over and go to bed, and I'm stuck with all of this stuff that I have to deal with.
Let's say it back. So, what bugs you? Yeah, just repeat it so she's sure you got it.
Yeah, so you're saying that I'm not responsive. And yeah, just pretty much not responsive. That's what it is.
Okay, say the very last part about when you go to bed.
Just avoiding, I feel like you can just roll over and go to sleep and everything's fine. and I'm stuck with all this stuff I feel like I have to deal with or never really processed or
Yeah.
So just don't worry about the questions yet.
So
Just see what
basically,
you-
yeah. So you're saying I'm not responsive, and I'm able just to roll over and go to sleep while there's issues that and challenges that we need to talk about. But yeah, that you need to get out.
Okay, so go to the feeling questions and ask her, how does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel?
humiliated, degraded, just feel unimportant, insignificant, unwanted, unworthy, unloved, frustrated. Then I get to a point where I'm frustrated and angry because the fact that it doesn't bother you that I feel this way, that I feel really low, especially from someone that I expect that loves me to even care, to even want to comfort me or hold me or.
Okay, which one of those words surprises you the most?
Unloved. Unloved. Really surprising me.
Okay, find out more about that.
So, I don't even know how to ask her.
Okay, yeah, which is okay. I'm telling you, the listener role is the hardest, because when I say find out more, most people look at me and go like, what? I just found out. And so it's like the art of thinking, okay, and thinking, well, what else could I know about that is a learned skill. It's easier to learn if you had parents doing that for you when you were a kid. But if you didn't, you're starting from ground zero. So she says she feels unloved, and that's the most surprising feeling to her. So ask her for like an example recently where that happened.
Can you give me an example?
Example of not feeling loved. Oh, sorry. I think when you're non-affectionate with me, or just you can walk away from. I'm trying to think of specifically like.
It's okay. Just take your time.
Yeah, but when you do those kind of things, like where you just like you can walk away, that it doesn't bother you, that I feel frustrated and angry and. Like last night.
See there? She didn't have to go too far back.
I don't know if that was too recent to bring. Is that too much information?
No.
Just the fact that we'll start talking about something, and is this okay that I'm talking about this?
That's fine.
You know what? That's a nice
fine.
question.
It's okay.
No, but still, it's okay. That was a good question.
That helps me because that would be we'll talk about later on.
So we're.
Let's just get this over with. It's basically what he's saying.
No, we're gonna talk about some more. Okay, just like we were talking about a situation last night, and he just rolled over. I'm like, okay, I'm tired. Let's talk about it in the morning, or and then I'm like, but wait, it just already started coming out, and like now I'm like stuck with this stuff, and I'm like, I just feel like you didn't understand. I just wanted you to understand me, to kind of just.
So ask her if there's any other words on the list that fit for last night.
Are there any other words on that list that fit from last night?
Alone, abandoned, baffled. Yeah, those are some of the things.
Okay, so ask her if those are familiar feelings from her childhood.
Are those familiar feelings from your childhood?
I think alone or abandoned. Cut off.
Ask her more about that.
You want to kind of give me a couple examples, or you want to share some of those feelings you had in your childhood?
I think because my parents were they had their own business, so we would get left alone a lot with our relatives, and even though that they were people that loved us, we felt like, I guess, like left out. Not, I didn't even think about that till now. That I felt abandoned by, they were so busy that they didn't have time, that they had more important things to do.
Well, okay, there you go. Did you hear that? So say what you heard.
Said that in childhood where parents had the business, they spent most of their time or worried about their business and kind of left you and your brother with relatives. And the feelings you had were abandonment and just feeling alone
And unimportant.
and unimportant.
Okay, so what do you think she's feeling right now?
Alone.
What are you feeling, Liz, right now?
It's just like she's by herself.
I think hurt and pain and confusion. Because I feel like a lot of other things that went on there that I feel like any child shouldn't have to go through, that I had to go through.
And could you tell anybody about it?
No.
Okay, so were you stuck with all those feelings inside? Okay. So as a little girl, she's away from her parents. There's things that are going on that shouldn't be going on, and she's stuck with all those feelings inside and no place to take them. Isn't that exactly what happens when he rolls over and goes to sleep? Wait. I haven't got this all out yet. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going to go to sleep. Okay. Okay, now what they've just each experienced is a look into each other's boxcars. And they realize that, oh my gosh, there's behaviors I'm doing that are pushing old wounds and triggering feelings of old wounds that go way deep before you ever met each other. And so is their current conflict just their current conflict? No, it's turbocharged. Her feelings of abandonment and neglect are turbocharged. His feelings of making someone unhappy are turbocharged. So this is basically what we do with every couple. And basically, so far, we've never had a couple up here where their current conflict and the thing that bugged them most didn't tie into a childhood memory. So far, we're batting 100%. And these are unresolved issues. It's a good point. They're unresolved. No one ever comforted you for those things you went through as a little girl. No one ever took you on their lap and maybe said, well, your dad is overly angry. So they've got these, they're unresolved because they've never been brought into a relationship and soothed and comforted. So at the end of our day, we're going to demonstrate how to take this even a step deeper into a holding, where you listen to each other from a position of being held. So we'll show you that later on. We demonstrate that instead of having you demonstrate it because it's too vulnerable for you all up in front. But hey, thank you so much. And you should look out and see how many tears are out there.